Chairman Powell, money machine going brr. Chairman Powell, he ain't playing, this a blur. Gotta follow the data, ain't no time to err. Watch him speak now.
Oh no.
With that Tom Crown flair. Yeah, Chairman, he's the captain of the crew. Navigating through the markets, knowing what to do. Federal reserves in control, making moves. Keeping that money flowing so the economy can groove. Chairman Powell, making paper every hour. Chairman Powell, he got that money power. Data on his side, watch him rise and devour. Yeah, he's the chairman of the board, making moves that empower.
What's up? What up? Welcome back. It is Chirpow Diet Day, we'll call it. Today we have Chirpow, the FOMC minutes, live at 2 p.m. East today. Gonna come in hot. And this is off the back of the biggest, greatest, most important FOMC of our lives earlier last month, something like that. We saw the Fed cut 50 BPS. It was historic. We've been waiting for this forever, and we're going to get some follow-up details. Now, for those of you who have joined today, no, there is no interest rate decision going on today. That was earlier. We're going to get another one. It's like November something for now, or is there one this month? Anyway, getting caught up. But we do have very important behind closed doors information coming out today. We're going to do a summary, what we're going to be looking for, what that might mean for the next meeting. We're going to give you everything you need. We have a little bit of time before then. So here's what we're going to do today. First, let's just take a sec, guys. Let's send our good energy, our prayers out to all of our fam members in Florida. We're in the path of the hurricane. Specifically, I want to give my boy Greg a shout out. He was displaced by Helen, and apparently none of his insurance covered any of it. Him and his family, his kids, having a really rough time. So let's send them our good energy, our good vibes. It's terrible, man. Pray for everybody. I hope everyone stays safe. I doubt we have many viewers in Florida right now. Not a priority if you're over there. Take care of yourselves. We have as well the HBO documentary about Satoshi coming out. I'm going to give you my little 2-cent take on that. Then before the minutes come out, I'm going to close some very big, I almost forgot about them, trades that we made earlier in this year, last year. They've been open a while. I'm going to close them live today because I have a little bit of an announcement about, we'll get to that then. So let's start. Let's just break it on down with the minutes and what we're going to be looking for here today. Let me pull up my notes really quick. So there's some important background context. So we've been watching the Fed really closely on this channel. We are the original Chirpow FOMC streaming channel. We invented it. That's why you're here. We're going to do a little deep dive on the minutes for today, along with some key economic data that's rolled out since then. And we're going to break down what we might expect and what we should look for, basically in the intro. First, dissenting opinions. This is what we're going to look for in the minutes. Governor Michelle Bowman dissented on this 50 BPS cut, saying that this could signal internal debates about the pace of rate reductions, which might be reflected in these minutes today, and set future expectations for FOMC rate cuts. We're going to pay attention to how the Fed has revised its economic projections for growth, inflation, and unemployment. And after the last cut of 50 BPS, we may be looking for further cuts into the end of the year. We'll see the dot plot, etc. Any shift there could indicate changes in their economic outlook, and that's going to be important. Sometimes these are nothing burgers. Usually they're nothing burgers when the meeting is nothing burger. I should have changed the title to Biggest FOMC Minutes Ever because we're coming off the back of the biggest FOMC. While I get into this, guys, make sure you're smashing the likes, subscribes, share the stream out, hype it up. You know the deal. The more engagement we get, the more viewers YouTube will show this to. They need to see this today. Inflation and labor market, given the recent data, look for discussions on whether the Fed still believes inflation is on a downward trend. That's going to be, honestly, the biggest point here. If recent CPI or PPI spikes may have them rethinking, I'm not sure if we actually got any. These notes are a little jumbled. Also, we had some data on jobless claims as well as inflation since then, though they won't necessarily impact the minutes because these are already written. Remember, these are the behind doors notes before the FOMC. Maybe these notes are a little weird. We're going to look for discussion on how financial markets reacted, and we're going to see really what each member, hopefully, has felt about the rate cuts. Were they too much? Were they too little, too late, too soon? We're going to get info. We're going to get data, even if the Fed doesn't have it. The recent economic data since then, I had this written out and I didn't realize, I was thinking we're doing FOMC. I'm just going to skip that. The minutes reveal, I'm going to go right here, to reveal a consensus on rapid inflation cooling. Because remember, the Fed is made up of different board members and they are humans. They have different opinions. If inflation is cooling and sustained economic growth, we might see another rate coming for the next meeting. I think that's very likely, whether it's this one or in November, December. Conversely, any hawkish undertones or concerns about inflation reacceleration could pause or slow those rate cuts into the end of next year. We're going to look for any mention of data dependency. Because we know they don't have it. If the Fed emphasizes watching incoming data closely, which they will, it might mean they're preparing for a more reactionary policy stance. Remember, these minutes are going to give us the Fed's mindset post-decision. They might not directly predict the next move, but they may control or define context for future decisions that will be made. We're going to keep an eye out for discussion on economic risks, internal factors, and any new tools or mechanisms they might consider implementing. We'll see. Basically, those notes, man, I botched that. My bad, guys. It's okay. We'll do better. Once the notes come out live at 2 p.m., we are going to break them down with the help of AI, and we're going to hopefully get a little insight into what we might expect into the end of the year. That's what I'm hoping. So, all right, let's talk about the HBO documentary. So the HBO documentary came out last night. I will tell you guys, I didn't sleep the night before. I did not get to watch the whole thing. I had like a few minutes on. From what I've read from others' opinions, basically they said that the documentary was well done. It was maybe a good testament to Bitcoin, hopefully getting some retailers out there interested. But I did warn you guys on Monday, the cool thing about this documentary is that going into it, we aren't going to know who Satoshi is. And then by the end of it, we're still not going to know who Satoshi is. So I think that's pretty much what happened. HBO said that it was Peter Todd, which is interesting because I have never heard, out of all the names, I've never heard Peter Todd until this documentary. There is some reasoning for it, but Peter Todd himself replying saying, "I am not Satoshi." Interesting though, because just think about it for a second. If he was Satoshi, that's what he would have said, right? No, I don't think he's Satoshi. There were some reasons that they pointed the finger at him, and that comes down to, I think, some post-analysis. That was a key piece of their argument here, that based on Bitcoin Talk Forum replies, where Satoshi Nakamoto explains Bitcoin transactions, Peter Todd had replied on many occasions, but elaborated on the same topic. I think some people are saying, oh, he forgot to switch accounts or something. I think that's really hard pressed. To my knowledge, this guy has replied many times back in like 2010 to Satoshi. It's not uncommon. The HBO documentary suggests that this could indicate Todd momentarily slipping. Yeah, no, I don't think so. Coding and creative abilities. I do believe he has them to be able to do this. The documentary highlighted his remarkable ability to code creatively. That's definitely something that Satoshi would have. Mentioning that he's studied art in college and incorporated digital timekeeping ideas into his artwork, which is a fundamental design of Bitcoin. Flimsy. My favorite one, though, is British spellings. Both Satoshi Nakamoto's writings and Peter Todd use British spellings, like the word color with a U, suggesting that common origins of a language may be a tie between them. Age and early involvement. No matter who Satoshi is, Peter Todd. I don't even know this guy, Peter Todd. He is the right age and has the ability, but that defines almost everyone, and the timeline lines up. So basically, though, you could say that about anyone coding back then involved in the project. I think that's weak. Access to early Bitcoin. Anyone could technically have had access. He just fits the timeline. I think that's really their takeaway there. They commented on behavioral and psychological traits. It explores psychological aspects, suggesting that Creators of significant movements like Bitcoin might harbor their identities secretly, and that could align with Todd's behavior and his relationship with the crypto community. I think all these reasons kind of suck. Coding and background, again, that kind of just is the timeline and the skill. He has it, but I don't know. I'm glad it was well done. I'm glad people enjoyed it. Hopefully we get some word out on the corn, something like that. But really, guys, at the end of the day, we don't want to know who Satoshi is. We really don't. I know some of you are curious. You know, we're humans. We want to know things. We don't like question marks, but it doesn't matter. I've heard theories of anything from it's the FBI or CIA to like people who clearly isn't, right? We don't need to know. It doesn't matter. Bitcoin is as it is, no matter who made it. Their intent when they made it, also irrelevant. Though I think is important, but irrelevant in the sense of even if a bad actor made it, the code is open source. It's auditable. It's been around. It stood the test of time. It really doesn't matter. And I really can only see negative things if we ever learn who he is. Like it will not be a positive for our community. It will be a net negative. So I hope that Satoshi's identity remains a secret at minimum until the person has been deceased. I know a lot of you, I can't believe they didn't name Hal Finney. That's what I thought. I thought they would name. Unless, at least until they're deceased, I think that would be okay after they're gone. But we cannot have a living Satoshi. We cannot know who he is. And at the end of the day, we are all Satoshi. Except Craig Wright. Craig Wright is the only one who is not Satoshi. You can ask him yourself. He has to say he's not. It kind of reminds me of that story of the Vanguard black color. Some guy made the darkest black ever, and then he patented in it and then tried to sell it. And then so someone else went and recreated it and made an even darker color, and they patented it, but said everyone can use it except you. That reminds me of that. It's funny. Okay. All right. So I have an announcement that does hit our community here before we get into the charts. I have an announcement. So in the past, we have been sponsored by Fairdesk. They have been a great partner. They've been a great exchange. I haven't had any issues. I haven't really heard you guys complain about them either. Unfortunately, they had some swapping around of shareholders. They were going to migrate to at least a new domain. It's kind of confusing to me. They were going to migrate, but apparently they've called it. They're not going to do the migration. They're having too many issues. The shareholders, I think, are spooked due to some regulation in the US. So Fairdesk is going to close down and cease operations, I believe. And I just learned this like last night in the middle of the night. Cease operations, I believe it's a week from now. Here's what you shouldn't do. Don't panic. Don't freak out. You don't need to leave the stream right now. Go log in tonight. You're fine. You'll be all right. What you should do, though, is over the course of the next few days, unwind your positions and withdraw your assets, right? Don't leave them there. You shouldn't have any issues doing that, to my knowledge. If you do, come to me. I will reach out personally and I'll get it done for you. I hope. No, I know. So that's what I'm going to do right now for you guys. I'm going to do that. I'm not going to withdraw, but here we go. We're going to close some of these positions that have been open forever. It's a shame. I'm really this is my biggest sadness here, is that we shorted 71 too. I'm going to have to close this. We longed 57.8. Going to have to close this, but we have more. This isn't it. So here we go. It's going to kill my soul to do this. Quick close. You don't have to quick close, but I'm just doing it for you guys to watch. Oh God, that hurt. Oh man, this is pain. This is pain. Done. I'm going to cancel the limit order. Make sure you have like limit orders and stuff canceled as well. That'll prevent you from moving those assets. There it is. Done and done, man. It's been a good ride. It's been a good ride. Let's close that. I also had these ones open, which I forgot about. We had a whole slew of these open. And, oh boy, this long from 27.2. This has been open over a year. You'll notice the margin is actually negative here because it's been open so long. It has eaten through all of the margin here. And that's why I think these P&Ls are goofy. It says plus minus 2,000% or something. Cool part, I guess, is we're about to close. I think it's $7,000 in profit. But man, I wish I could keep these open. So goodbye, 27,200 long 5X on Bitcoin. You were good. You were very good. 28,500 long on Bitcoin. You are also good. A little bit worse, but also very good. There it is. Wow, that felt awful. I really wanted to hold those open for, I don't know when I was going to close. Maybe it works out better this way, but done. I have no more open or active positions on FairDesk. It's been a good ride. This outcome, obviously not what I wanted, but I mean, considering the FTX stuff, we've seen problems on other exchanges. It's really not the worst. So take your time, but I would get to it over the next day or two. If you got to do it right now, I understand, but maybe keep the tab open for the stream. Oh man, that hurt. We do have many other exchanges that you can use. Remember guys, any exchange though that isn't regulated has risk, and this is really kind of the better outcome of that risk. I don't think anyone should lose assets to my knowledge. The worst thing is, man, gotta close those positions. This is the game we're going to keep seeing into the future. Regulation is not slowing down. It's not stopping. And it's going to be a game of whack-a-mole, basically. When one shuts down, other companies will open another one, etc., etc. We've seen that over the last few years. Something I learned recently, and this is to my knowledge, obviously I'm not a lawyer. So when it comes to the KYC issue, I would never encourage anyone to do anything illegal. So know the laws in the area you're in. But to my knowledge, in the US, people have asked me, is it illegal to use these non-KYC exchanges? To my knowledge, it is not illegal for US people. Well, maybe it's not a criminal offense. We'll put it that way. I don't want to give you guys anything wrong. But to my knowledge, it is only illegal for you to use an exchange if it is regulated and you don't KYC. So that would be like using Binance or Coinbase or Kraken without KYCing. I'm not sure how you do that, but that would be illegal to my little research I did the other day, which is good because I have long said this to you guys. I believe the onus is on the exchange to keep people out who can't use it. I don't believe it's on the user. That may be different anywhere you are. Check it out, but just put your kind of troubles to rest, or hopefully help you guys relax a little bit. So that intro was way longer than I thought it would be. We have 12 minutes until the FOMC minutes are published. If you guys could, please tickle up those like buttons. The spice is coming. Join the Discord if you haven't. Check out the links in the video description below, especially our sponsors, 𝐂𝐴lgo and Meta Signals. You can get free trials using my links. Was that all my notes? Those notes were terrible. I'm sorry, guys. Satoshi, Peter Todd, FOMC, FairDesk, trades. I think that's it. All right. That wasn't too painful. That wasn't too bad, guys. Tom Big Smart. I appreciate you. Let me see who's here. Greg. There's Greg himself. Greg. I don't know how to say your last name, Greg. Greg Greslick. We're all praying for you, brother. We're all sending our good vibes, our good energy. And to everyone else, obviously, impacted by this hurricane stuff. This is wild. It's wild. It's heartbreaking. Man. So let's hope for some good news, right? Is Tom Crown the narrator of the new big? I should be. Norpat. The next one. I'll put in my hat to that ring. Is Powell speaking today? Tell one. So in 12 minutes or less, we will have the closed door notes on the previous biggest FOMC of all time. So no, he's not speaking live, but we'll get the next best thing. We'll get kind of the not for everyone info about the meeting. It's not quite a 𝐶HPOW, but it's a 𝐶HPOW diet kind of day. Maybe I'll have time to get into some charts. We'll find out. I would love to just see how everybody's doing. Brian Gabaco's here. Amy Lives Crypto is here. Great YouTuber. Mark Dutch, what's up, man? Todd Crown. No, why would you say Todd? That doesn't make sense, bro. Mark Dutch, what's up, man? Ace of Hearts, Alexandra G. How you doing, darling? Tantana, Montana. What's up? KYC, know your Coochie. What's up, Romanian? Pitbull, Monkey, Randy, Sealos, Mike, Folsom. Who else we got here? Barbaric Puma. We got a lot of names. Ghost Trader Project. Is it illegal to access them with VPNs? Not a lawyer. I know it's not illegal to use a VPN. It's impossible to answer questions like this in an open chat forum because we have viewers from all over the world, and every single country, every single place is going to have different rules on that. I will say I have never had issue myself accessing these exchanges. I've never gotten in trouble. I've never gotten screwed over when not able to withdraw assets, etc. That's as far as I can go. The only thing I don't want to do with this is to give you guys bad information. That's always my goal here for 5 years on YouTube. The only thing I don't want to do is get you guys wrecked, get you guys in a bad position. So I would say look into it. Just do a quick Google search, ask ChatGPT, whatever it is, right? Mike J, Palau is king. Absolutely, man. I have my Palau, Palau island ID, and you can use that to KYC. It's a real identification. You're actually KYC. It's not illegal, but those exchanges have the right to close your account, says Folsom. Absolutely correct. I think any unregulated exchange can just close your account at any point. That's another one of those risks. Brian Miller, what's up? Brendan, what's up? David Gelfand, what's up? Mikkel Student, how you doing? Who else is here? If you're in the chat today, wake up. Put a message in the live. Who's here? We have 8 minutes. Anon Solaris is here. Bad Fox. We have Alexandra G, Amy Lives Crypto, Anon Solaris, and Bad Fox all in a row alphabetically. We got the ladies alphabetically. What's up, girls? How you all doing today? Happy Wednesday. Bad Saf. Good to see you, brother. I haven't seen you in a little bit. Good to see you around. Barry the Rave. Bina. How you doing, Bina? Blair. Bogdan. Who else? Bullish Reset. Brian Miller. Christopher Huffman. Crypto Needs Red Bull. What's up, man? Crypto Z. David T. How are you? Dazzy Daz. D Boots. DJ Null. Falco. Folsom Hodel. Foxy Thorny. Fud. Get Aboated. Gary Kaufman. Geo for you. Greg, of course. Harry Hood, Duran, JD, Jahay Soma, Jose Montilla, Josh Labe, JP No Morgan, JP Frito, Kalichi. What's up? Laser Pogi, loading name Long Mountain. What's up, boys? Main event, Max Power, Miguel Hernandez, Mike J. What's up? Mehanic? Something like that. Priest XBT, Peaky Rupeto. On Biseft. I saw you earlier, Meng. Real Housewives of Crypto, another beautiful lady in the house. Ricardo Ruvakaba, Rico Wallaby, R Lake 13, Robert Nitz, Romanian Pitbull, Roro Crypto, RSKNOR. What's up, my friend? Saiyan Warrior G, Scott Daly, SD Crypto, Sealoss, Sergio. We got all the names in the house. Almost 1,000 viewers. Nice. Let's get those numbers up, guys. We can get the numbers up. Sun Chips, I'm so sorry I didn't get your chart on Monday. When I ended the stream, I was like, son of a bitch. I knew I forgot something. Shooter Mike Avon, Shrinktech, what's up, Mang, Smokester, Steegen, Tell One, the Crimson Chode, Bearded Wanderer, Pickle, my right hand man, Sin, how you doing? The Origin Flame, Tillin, Mick Pooch, Uncle Wizard Up and Run, Usama Anwar, Vapo Chilled, Vitamin C, X77, and Monkey, and I'm sure lots of others. What's on your minds today? We have 5 minutes until these notes are live. I'm going to pull up the site now. What's up, Thashiel? What good? FEMA ain't it, says John Doe. All right. What's up, Spoon? Almost there. RDX Trader. Guys, tell me fast FOMC bullish or bearish? So that is a loaded question. It is the minutes of the FOMC. So it's not an actual FOMC. It's not an FOMC even. It is just the behind closed doors notes from the FOMC members. So there won't be an interest rate decision. There won't be, I don't know, there won't be any changes directly, but there will be important context, information, and guidance about the next FOMC, where they very realistically may do a 25 or more BPS cut. So, man, we're really, really close. We're getting there. Time label. We have just a few more minutes, boys and girls. 4 minutes to go. Was good prolific joints, my friend Miran. What's up, Haken? Who let the dogs out? Well, somebody did. Vitamin C, I missed you. I think I got everybody. I got close. Big Daddy Rothschild. Tom Crown for Prez. Maybe in 2028. Let's see. What does that tell us about how much TP? I don't know. Nothing. Probably nothing. And I don't have the notes yet. These will be out soon. Please pump the corn now. All right, I will. Pump it. They're going to hint at no change. I kind of have that hunch as well, Romanian, that they're going to hint at, like, okay, what we did was all we needed for now. And then I think they're going to end up cutting rates again. Gina and Asian Gina. God, guys, don't hate me for this, but I think I'm falling for Asian Gina more than 𝐂𝐡𝐚𝐫𝐭 𝐎𝐧. I know, I'm torn at my heart, but that Asian Gina. Let's earn and learn. Don't get learned, not burnt. Your vitamin D, right on. No babes asking questions? Nah, I should have one. Should have one here for these. You want them to say they will the rate. Interesting. Bottoms in, Brendan. I agree. What's up, Harley? Been doing great. Thanks for the stream as always. Thank you for being here. What's up, Gabe? Going head to head to become president. Well, the crown price ticket is an attractive one. It's a universal ATM. I don't know what that means, Marin. What is? You're lighting up a J, Uncle Maureen. Well, you still have 3 minutes to roll up, grab a brew. It is encouraged. Carryover trade? Yeah. On the 𝐂𝐡𝐚𝐫𝐭. Retired local 25 iron worker. Shout out to you, Gary. Bean Juice, what's up, man? Asian Gina, you've been saying it, Crypto G. You're right, man. You called it. I was not bullish enough on Asian Gina. Joining with the B rip. I wish I could join you guys. I wish I could join you. Quick random note. There's very good odds I will be in Dubai next month for like 2 days. Who's in Dubai? Maybe. Oh no, we can't rip nothing in Dubai. But I've never been there. I've always wanted to go there. Or I think a Pol USD Adita. I think I don't have enough time to answer that question right now. Did Gary Gensler do Milton? What's up with people thinking like humans are in control of hurricanes? That's wild. It's wild, dude. Take a B-rip for me. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. All right, let me get this meetings, calendars, information. If you want to read these yourselves, they are public. You can just go to federalreserve.gov. Statement, you can see here the minutes are on the right and the actual meetings or FOMCs are on the left. We don't have the minutes yet because they will publish them in exactly 1 minute and 30 seconds. 1 minute and 30 seconds, Nate. The Gulf, yes, the Gulf controls the hurricanes. That is true. Don't even daydream green. No, I won't. No, I'm gonna have to be a good boy. Be a good boy. Pack some edibles? No. Elias here. What's up, Elias? What's up, Alex? You want to rip anything? No. No rips. No rhymes. No chimes. I am going to fire up the short stream right now. You may get a notification. Let me know if you do. Let me know. Right now. It is for phones. Mobile devices. There we go. Firing it up. For mobile devices, you can stay here or you can go there if you're on a phone or both. I won't stop you. What's up, 𝐷𝐻𝐸? What's up from Dubai? How is it over there? I heard it's a good time of year to go. Kind of look like Peter Todd. You kind of look like Peter Todd. Get out of here. Lemuel Simus. You're Peter Todd. Temple, I don't even know what you're saying. No time. Am I Satoshi? We're all Satoshi, bro. We are all Satoshi. And in just, it seems like 15 seconds. In just 15 seconds, we will all be Satoshi with the FOMC notes. Let me reload their page. Reload. Any second now. I don't know what clock they use. We'll find out. There's my alarm for 2. There we go. Any minute now. Any minute now. What's up, guys? Welcome to the chat. You do have time to subscribe. If you do while we're live, this will roll over this little button down here, or this little counter in real time, and I'll shout you out. Any minute now. Any second. Literally any second now. If you guys find it first, let me know. Should be right there, though. I'm going to open CryptoCraft because they usually have it right away, too, like as a link. Not yet. Not yet. Come on. Full details, FOMC meeting. The description, October. Any second now. Come on, Fed. The Fed, Chairman Powell's always fashionably late. What's up, Challenge Me? How you doing, my friend? Welcome, welcome. You are now tuned in. They should be here. Should be right here. Come on. You load one more time. I don't know. Maybe they're shutting us down. They're like, man, you're getting too much. There we go. I got it. They are live, baby. Here we go. So here's like a little thing. Let me go actually to the PDF. These can be many pages long. Last time I opened the wrong one, guys. Double check I opened the right one this time. These can be many, many pages long. And so instead of sitting here and reading 16 pages to you, which would put everyone to sleep, we like to use AI to help summarize them. So there may be mistakes, there may be errors due to the AI, but it is a great way to just condense all of this together and rip out, take out the important parts that we might be looking for. So let me fire this up. Let me tell ChatGPT, write a summary of these recent FOMC minutes. Include all important context. Let me move this over. Important info and context that may impact the next FOMC. Okay, so here we go. We're going to start with, is this right? Is this right? Let me double check. Read it to us last time. We'll see. House music. Give me a sec. I need to get this done, and then we can put on some tunes. Let me just double check. Anybody, did I get the right one? I don't remember what I opened last time, but I was like, not correct. All right, let's start with the first section right here, right now. Developments in financial markets and open market operations. Hopefully this will have some goodies for us. It's thinking. Substantial majority backed out of the 50. I was surprised by the 50, honestly. So here we go. ChatGPT reports, or our AI assistant. The recent FOMC minutes highlighted several key developments in financial markets and their implications for future policy. All right, good start. Notably, this is why we do it. Nominal treasury yields decreased significantly, influenced by weaker than expected economic data, particularly the July employment report, and communications suggesting a potential reduction in policy restraint. This drop in yields was largely due to lower expected real yields and a decline in inflation compensation. Market sentiment has shifted, with options pricing reflecting expectations of around 100 BPS points. Interesting. Oh, by the end of the year. That makes sense. Up from 50 points previously. Future prices also indicate a notable reduction in expected rates, with a model expectation of 25 BPS cuts for the upcoming September meeting. It is this month. Though the probability of a 50 BPS cut has also risen. Internationally, central banks in advanced economies, including the Bank of England and the European Central Bank, have started or continued to lower their policy rates, contributing to a slight decline in the trade-weighted US dollar index. Nice. We got 1,500 viewers now. We're pumping it up. Keep those likes coming just because I'm talking. Keep them coming. Keep subscribing. The rates contributing to a slight decline in trade-weighted US dollar index. In terms of money markets, overnight rates remained stable, but there were signs of tighter conditions in secured funding markets. Usage of the overnight reverse repurchase agreement on RRP facility fell, although this may change as Treasury bill supply fluctuates. Overall, most survey respondents did not express significant concerns about the near-term economic downturn, maintaining a relatively stable outlook for unemployment. These factors will likely influence the committee's decisions in the next meeting, with a consensus leaning towards at least some reduction in interest rates, so maybe 25 BPS. The next section we will do is the staff review of the economic situation for the second segment. Yeah. This one's bullet pointed. All right, sure. The key segments of this section. Economic growth, real GDP showed solid expansion in 2024, driven by strong consumer spending and private investment. However, the pace of job gains moderated, and while unemployment rate rose slightly to 4.2%, it remained low overall. Inflation trends. Consumer price index inflation, as measured by the PCE index, was at 2.5% in July, with core inflation slightly higher at 2.6%. Recent estimates suggest a further decline to 2.2 total PCE inflation for 12 months ending in August. Core Consumer Price Index, or CPI, inflation was recorded at 3.2. Labor market conditions showed signs of easing. Average monthly job gains declined in July and August compared to the previous quarter. The labor force participation rate increased slightly, while initial claims for employment insurance remained low, indicating stable employment conditions, despite some demographic disparities in unemployment rates. Private domestic final purchases, or PDFP, a lot of acronyms. The measure of economic momentum grew at a stronger rate than GDP in the first half of the year. This and continued to suggest. Let's see this. You put up a chart that has something on it. There we go. Nice and clean chart. Continued to suggest solid growth, particularly in personal consumption expenditures and business investments. Exports and imports. After slow growth in the second quarter, real exports of goods fell in July, primarily due to declines in auto and industrial supplies. In contrast, imports remained robust, particularly for capital goods. International context. Economic growth abroad was subdued, with weak manufacturing activity noted in Canada, Germany, and Mexico, while services and high-tech sectors showed relative strength. Inflation in advanced foreign economies was easing, although still above targets in some regions due to persistent services inflation. Several central banks, including the Bank of England and European Central Bank, continued to lower their policy rates as they made progress towards their inflation targets. Meanwhile, the Bank of Japan was tightening its monetary policy. It's been very interesting. These economic indicators and trends will significantly impact the FOMC's consideration for future monetary policy decisions regarding the pace of easing. Next section. I'm having trouble talking today. Maybe I always have trouble. Staff review of the financial situation. So now moving from economic outlook or economic review to financial review. Do the same again, ChatGPT. Man, these are, imagine reading all this. We are now 6 pages in to 16 pages. It's going quick though. Minutes review of the financial situation highlighted several significant trends and developments that may affect future policy decisions. Interest rate expectations. The market implied path for the federal funds rate declined notably, with futures suggesting a greater likelihood of policy easing by early 2025 compared to the July meeting. This shift was accompanied by significant drop in nominal treasury yields, especially at shorter maturities, driven by reduced inflation compensation and real yields. We know that. Market volatility increased uncertainty regarding interest rates, heightened investor concerns about potential downside risks to economic activity. This uncertainty was evident in the temporary volatility seen in August, triggered by disappointing U.S. employment data and the Bank of Japan's policy actions. Remember the JPY trade. Although borrowing costs remain elevated, there were modest declines in most credit segments. Residential mortgage rates and yields on mortgage-backed securities fell, but stayed high overall. New credit card and auto loan rates remained elevated, while commercial real estate loans increased. Capital market financing was accessible for large public corporations and middle market private firms, with solid credit availability for leveraged loans. However, credit for smaller firms was moderately tight. Commercial and industrial loan balances were stable, and while credit remained accessible to most CRE borrowers, the pace of growth has slowed. Love you, Queen. Love always. Love you all, guys. Keep smashing them likes. Tap the screen. Credit quality remained solid for large firms, home mortgage borrowers, and municipalities. However, there were signs of deterioration in certain sectors, particularly CRE, where delinquency rates rose. Consumer loan delinquency rates increased moderately, although mortgage delinquency rates were at near pre-pandemic lows. Not so shabby. Not too bad over there. Where did my short stream chat go? Year, what's up? Render coin you day. We gotta get through these notes first, guys. Gotta get through these notes. You guys are over on the short stream, just so you know. Vertical. You can join us on the main one. You'd like. The broad dollar index declined, reflecting a depreciation against advanced foreign economy currencies due to narrowing interest rate difficulties. All right. Now we're going to go for the staff's economic outlook. This one's short, so it should be short. Economic growth forecast. The staff anticipated that the economy would remain solid, with real GDP growth projected to be similar to previous forecasts. However, there was an expectation of a slightly higher unemployment rate by year end. The stronger than expected GDP growth in the second quarter prompted a downward revision for the second half of the year, influenced by recent weak labor market indicators. For 2024, the overall GDP growth forecast remained largely unchanged, but the unemployment rate was expected to rise slightly. Looking ahead to 2025 and into 2027, real GDP growth was anticipated to align with the staff's estimate of potential output growth, while the unemployment rate was projected to remain stable. The outlook indicated, for labor and product markets, a shift towards a more balanced supply and demand dynamic in labor and product markets, with resource utilization expected to be less tight than in recent years. Let's go. In recent years, the staff's inflation forecast was adjusted downward, reflecting new data and expectations of a less constrained economy. Both total and core PCE inflation were predicted to decline further, with projections of reaching around 2% by 2026. Interesting. That's new. These have a lot more info than when Chairman Powell talks. He never says anything. The staff assessed the risks to economic activity as tilted to the downside. And so is Bitcoin right now. Particularly due to softening labor market indicators that could indicate slower aggregate demand growth. In terms of inflation, risks were viewed as roughly balanced, considering both progress in disinflation and the potential impact of weaker economic activity on inflation dynamics. Uncertainty assessment. The staff characterized the uncertainty surrounding their baseline projections as close to the historical average over the last 20 years, indicating a moderate level of confidence in their forecasts. Thanks. Moving on, we're getting through this quick. Participants' views on current conditions and the economic outlook. So this is going to be more of their opinion, more of how they're seeing things individually. This might be the biggest segment. This is like 6 pages out of 16. Let's see if that's too much text for GBT. Nope. And it did it pretty... Okay, cool. It summarized it really well, really concisely. During the recent FOMC meeting, participants shared their projections for real GDP growth, the unemployment rate, and inflation from 24 to 27, reflecting their assessments of appropriate monetary policy. The longer run projections represented each participant's views on how these variables would stabilize under appropriate policy absent further economic shocks. The summary of economic projections was subsequently released to the public. And that's this. Inflation developments. Participants noted that while inflation remained elevated, most believed that recent monthly data had indicated a sustainable path back to the 2% target. Some highlighted the role of falling food and energy prices. I haven't noticed that, but have any of you guys noticed falling food or energy prices? I guess gas is down, whatever. Alongside a broad decline in prices across goods and services, particularly in core goods and non-housing services. Many noted that businesses reported diminished pricing power, with consumers increasingly seeking discounts. Now you're speaking my language. Participants suggested that the inflation spikes earlier in the year were likely temporary. Interesting. That's actually pretty big. That sounds dovish. Dovish to it. Outlook for inflation confidence grew among participants that inflation was moving towards 2% target. We know that. Supported by several factors, modest slowing in GDP growth due to committee's monetary policy, well-anchored inflation expectations, reduced pricing power, rising productivity, and softer global commodity prices. Take base hits, Ricardo. What are you talking about? They noted that the stable labor market conditions were unlikely to contribute to inflationary pressures. Dovish. Participants recognized that labor market conditions had eased, moving away from the overheating seen in previous years. Evidence included slowing payroll growth, a slight uptick in unemployment, and reduced job vacancies. Despite the easing, the labor market remains solid, with low layoffs and initial claims for unemployment insurance. Some businesses are adjusting to reduced hiring rather than laying off workers, indicating a cautious post-pandemic approach. Participants observed, I can't say this word, participants, so many times. I'm starting to lose it. Observed that the economic activity continued to grow steadily, bolstered by resilient consumer spending and rising real household incomes. However, concerns emerged about potential strains on household budgets, particularly among low and moderate income groups, which might slow consumption growth. Most participants felt that the upside risks to inflation had decreased, dovish, while downside risks to employment had increased, leading to a more balanced assessment of risks to the committee's dual mandate. There were concerns about a potential sharp slowdown in consumer spending and challenges from geopolitical developments impacting inflation. In light of inflation's progress and balanced risk assessment, participants agreed to ease monetary policy, supporting a 50 BPS reduction in the federal funds rate. They recognized the need to recalibrate policy to align with the recent inflation and labor market indicators. What's Bud yapping about, 𝐂𝐴𝐻? The only thing that this stream is about right now, the FOMC minutes. Some members preferred a more gradual approach, advocating for 25 BPS instead, emphasizing a cautious approach. So it was not unanimous. I think we knew that, though. The future policy outlook highlighted that if data aligns with expectations, showing inflation trending towards 2%, the economy near maximum employment, it would be appropriate to adopt a more neutral policy stance. They stressed that recent adjustments should not be interpreted, this is important, as negative economic outlook, and future decisions could remain contingent on evolving economic conditions. Overall, they just underscored the 2%. Let's go to the actions. We're almost done, fam. After we get through these, we are on page 13 of 16. After this, there's just the vote. We will do some charting, some trading, some chatting. We're almost done. It's weird how sometimes it's doing bullet points and then sometimes it's doing paragraphs. This one's paragraph, whatever. No, you know what? This is, do it in bullet points. Here we go. Because it was just going to rehash because it did it in paragraphs. Monetary policy discussions and actions. Activity continued solid growth with a slowdown in job gains and a slight rise in unemployment, which remains low. Inflation progress, some progress towards the 2% target. Inflation levels still elevated. Post-meeting statement, increased confidence that inflation is sustainably moving towards the 2% target. Risks to unemployment and inflation goals seen as roughly balanced. That's a lot of repetition. We've said that a few times now. Economic outlook considered uncertain with attention to risks. Yes. We lowered the target 4 1/3 to 5%. One member voted against this, preferring a range of 5 1/4%. So I guess just one member wanted 25 BPS. Kind of made it sound like it was more than one. Commitment to closely assessing incoming data and evolving outlook when considering future rate changes. Ongoing reduction to Federal Reserve holdings and Treasury securities and agency-backed securities. Focus on 2% target. Where's the new stuff? Action directives. Federal Reserve Bank of New York directed to conduct specific open market operations. Thanks. Management of repurchase agreement operations. You were doing so good, ChatGPT. Then you just pooped the bed. In favor, Powell, Williams, Barkin, Barr, Bostic, Cook, Daly, Hammock, Jefferson, Kugler, Waller. Again, so it was just Michelle W. Bowman who preferred the smaller rate. I guess that's important because a lot of what we were kind of expecting is more of a mixed response. It just seems like there's one dissenter. That doesn't seem as important as it could have been. Lowered to 4.9. Primary credit rate reduced. We know this. Next meeting. Notation vote. Attendance. Actually, there's nothing to even do on that part. Cool. That was it. That was it. What do you guys think? What are the key takeaways? What's the big stuff? I'm not reading the comments. You are right, Ricardo, because I was reading a 16-page FOMC minute document. That was the whole point of the stream. But I'm done reading it now. We got the summary. I'm not gonna lie, while I'm like just going through it, it's hard for me to retain a lot. I'm focusing on pronouncing and communicating. But what I took away from it is a lot of dovish talk, a lot of confidence that we are going in the right direction, and considering we got an interest rate cut, the right direction is interest rate cuts, it seems. This single dissenter, not really a big deal. Pant music, we'll put on some music. Yeah. What do you guys think? I want your feedback because you got to listen to it. You're from India. Hi, Varsha. On some low chillin' vibes, tunes in the background. Let me know if the music's too loud. It's gonna be low though. You switched off? That's all right. Me too. I checked out in my brain while I was saying it. My takeaways are really, it just seems dovish. It seems like there's more cuts coming. This is like the first time that I've heard confidence in the Fed of things going in the right direction. Does that align with what you guys got from it or no? It's important. Your feedback, Randy, 80K by Halloween. I like that feedback, buddy. I like that feedback a lot. Let's make it so. I'm skeptical this won't get really loud. Well, I know. Yes, I know. There we go. I think that's good. If it's too loud, let me know. Sorry I missed you all in chat. What's up over there on the short stream? What up from Fort Worth, Texas? How you doing, Warren? What is an order block, Varsha? I have a whole free trading course. One of the videos is on order blocks. Go check it out. It's on this channel. YouTube highlights. What's up, man? Guess Orama, OG Risen. What do I feel about SoFi? I don't know, man. Alex O, how you doing, bro? Another great YouTuber here in the chat. Coins Chick. When are you gonna start YouTubing, Coins Chick? Good to see you, darling. No need to check the super chat. Okay, I'll check the super chats. Shout out to all our new subscribers. I see Dustin Wesley, Blend Games, Dole Anik. I see some super chats and stuff. We'll get to those. You know what? Actually, let's give away some memberships too. I don't think I've given away this month. Make sure you've opted into membership gifting. Is a little bit too loud. Make sure you've opted into them. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you put a message in the live chat. You've liked it. You've engaged. The more you do, the more likely you are to win them. We're going to check the super chats and then we'll give them away. What's up? Mostafa. Subscribe. Candleholic. Me too. Jack Ace. Dimfo. Abdullah. Challenge me. I think I got that one earlier. A name in a language I can't pronounce. Mikkel Beckman. 𝐂𝐡𝐚𝐫𝐭. Dominic. Josie. Wakur. Insurance Health. What's up? Got a lot of new subscribers during this live. Keep them coming. There we go. Another one as I'm speaking. That number is updating in real time. Now to the super chats. Hold up. You're my what 10th K subscriber, Rahul? You were? Or you are? Because we got 130,000. That's a lot more. A lot more than 10. I think we hit 10K in like 2019. No, 2020, 2019. That's weird. It only shows yours, Coins Chick. Sorry you haven't been around. Tom broke up with me. I don't think that's true, darling. Then he gifted a membership. Love you, Coins Chick. Good people's Coins Chick. I like that lady. I like that woman. I don't see any other super chats. That's fine. Don't super chat. It's not really super chatty kind of day. What's up, 𝐂𝐴𝐾 𝐲𝐓𝐫𝐚? I see you guys coming in. All right, so a few things I wanted to look at quickly. What's up, Dean? Dane Stickles. Quickly. Let's look at the day on the corn. We've had some unfortunate candles. It's okay, it's not over. On Monday, we rejected from the 200-day. God dang. On top of the 200-day, we also rejected from a green quarter at 63.3 and a green week. We opened at the green week and we closed below. Pretty savage candle to get, not the candle that I was hoping for or looking for. Since then, we have continued downwards the day after rejecting from the 20, and we are quickly approaching. What's up, pest killers? Getting that membership in, hell yeah. Ali Ahmed, what's up? Quickly approaching the 100-day and 50-day moving averages. We have to find support here. We have to. 61K, as low as like 60.7, 60.8. We got to find support here. We can go lower intraday. We can go to 60.5 again. That's where we looked for a long earlier in the month. Can hit support there again. Prefer that it didn't. I don't want to see it tested. I want to see a higher low, and I want to see the this price move right back to that 200-day. Remember, we were looking at the consecutive rejections of this moving average, this massive, almost year-long average of price. We rejected once, twice, 3 times, now 4 times. The good news, each time we test this, we weaken it. Every time you test resistance, it's weakened. Every time you test support, it's weakened. So it is weakening. And on a next approach, the probability of breaking it will be higher. This is exceptionally true if we can continue to paint higher lows, which we have done in August, into September, and now potentially here in October. So trading above 59.9 is still in this pattern, is still looking good, and my bets are still a test to the top of our channel, our high trend here, putting us around, let's say 68 to like 71K. That's still where I'm at. If we lose our support from October and see lower lows over the next few weeks, things don't look quite as pretty. So we're gonna add our fib tool here to our October low to our October high. And I don't like where this puts us. Our 1618 down at 57K, that would be a lower low, at least first middle of September's low. It would be a retest of this support, which I wouldn't be a huge fan of. Our measured move down at 55.5. These would be decent downside targets. The most important thing on my mind for this chart that is keeping me bullish, other than the fact that I'm always bullish, baby, is right here. Let's see. We have a range low to a lower high. That lower high brought us to a lower low in September. September into the end of September, we then broke that high. And while this isn't the first higher high, you can see back here in June, we did trade higher. That's a higher high. It is the first higher high after a higher low. We have not had that happen. That's the important part. As long as we don't trade lower than September, lower than 52.6, we still have another higher low. That could be in that 57 range. That could even be as low as what, I forget we were looking at on the month. Like 50, was it 57, 54? I don't know. Could be anywhere above September's low. And then what we'd want to see is obviously a move back to the 200, a higher high, break the 200, hold it as support and continue up. That's what I'd like to see. This all kind of gets thrown out if we trade below September's low. So that's where my eye is definitely fixed. Absolutely. While we do have horizontal supports on the way down, we also have other shorter moving averages like the 50 and 100 right below us, and they're likely to provide support in my opinion. I think we are likely to see a bounce. There are a few other things kind of impacting this chart. The dollar, the Dixie. Last week closed a monstrous candle for the Dixie. That candle brought it directly back to previous support from March of this year and closed below. I was hoping for a rejection, but this week has now moved higher. It has broken past 102.74 And in my opinion, looking to move back to 104.1. This is a more major, longer term support that we saw hold all the way from March until July of this year before it broke down, bringing us lower than December's low and putting 99.5 in sights. What I would like to see there is a rejection from 104.1 and a move lower. That's what I'd like to see. We'll find out. But this is likely putting downside pressure on markets, which is almost hard to believe when you take a look at S&P. S&P at new all-time highs again today. Someday Bitcoin. It's weird. Bitcoin used to be at all-time highs than stocks. Now stocks at all-time high. Bitcoin kind of being that special friend sitting in the corner. That's okay. I still believe in you. Turning up to 576 on SPY. Looking. Let's see. Looking for, what are we looking for? Boom. I'm going to give away those memberships soon. I guess 600, good upside target, 620. I think if we zoom out, we get some, more macro extensions. Here we are. Here we are. From 22 all the way to the end of 22, the decline in S&P using our fib tool gave us a target of 561, which again seemed to play pretty meaningfully. We went to 565 before retracing, tested it again. Remember, this horizontal did not exist until we put the fib. This is a fib line. This is not a horizontal support or resistance. Higher low, broke, and now into price discovery again. So since we've successfully tested it as resistance and broke, well, it didn't really test as support. Logically, I'm looking for the measured move target up here. Our more local move also gives us that range, and that's some confluence for me. So let's say into the end of the year, I think SPY hits 600 and maybe higher. It's going to be a spicy end of year. This is just a crazy chart, man. Stocks like only go up when they're going up. Like they just go in channels up and then they fall down for periods, and they just seem to reform these channels. Volatility is lower, but man, I could sleep better at night if this is how Bitcoin looked all the time. Let's see the damage here. Our red candle here on the core, while it's not really that big, fraction of a percent, does seem to have started at the exact moment those notes were released. Does that mean that it is bearish for Bitcoin? What was in the notes? I don't think so. Bitcoin just tends to have volatility whenever something big happens. Whether it's good or bad, it don't really seem to matter. Often you'll see it move in the opposite direction of where it ends up going initially. Let's see. Now we're rolled over. How's that 4 looking still? Not as good, man. Not nearly as good. What's up, Professor Beans? Just going to the vet today to get booty medicine. Past the 1618, 1615 be like nice to close in this intraday, or in this, basically in this stream. Be a nice close. Retake that sport. What's up, Joey Trump? T. Aiden. This is a super chat. RSK Nor. What's up, man? Good to see you. Good to have you here. On the main stream, because I don't think I can give them out on the short stream. Did the hurricane news affect markets? I don't think so. I don't believe so. I don't think I can give them out on the short stream, but I'm about to give out 5 memberships if it'll let me. Yep. To the mainstream chat. To the big resolution, not the vertical, not the thin one. There's 5. I hope you win. Arpad, you won. Dutang, Frank Stern, what's up, bros? Made 40K in the last FOMC. Nice Bear Syndicate. Well done. Trade Intuition. What's up, bro? Another YouTuber. We got all of them. On Biseft. Congrats, fam. Use those emojis. Enjoy them. Emoji them up. Love from the UK. Love back to the UK. South A live trading. What's up, man? Fade and TradFi. Please check Fontum, says our fan. We can. We can do that. Can Bitcoin hit 60K? Yeah, of course it can. What's up, Stefan? Let's see. We can do some requests. We did a lot of requests on Monday. We're not going to do a bajillion today. I said that last time, but this time I'm serious. My voice was so wrecked I couldn't do voiceovers after. So I gotta be careful. When Lambo in our hearts right now with our friends. That's right. Antrax, where am I from? From a poor family. He's just a poor boy from a poor family. Total crypto market cap, I'm liking it. I pointed this out Monday, still liking it. Looks like we filled that monthly candle from last month with the red, found a little support, bouncing back up. I think that's a good sign for the overall crypto market. Continues to be the same. I want to show you guys TRX because I want to say like a month ago, let's see, back in August, September, I was talking about TRX. It was pumping, it was rallying. We can update Sui. Sui did hit $2 completely and utterly. Looking for a long on Sui potentially at 155.9 if it comes. Sui did on Monday retest the all-time high. It was, I mean, like a penny off, close enough. Meaningfully tested it. Finding support. It's looking to find support, looking to find bids. I think there's scalp plays available here, but man, I know people are starting to think like, oh, new all-time highs, and like, man, without Bitcoin, without the market trending up, I don't think a new all-time high will continue, let's say, until the entire, like the rest of the market is uptrending. Maybe you break all-time high and you kind of sweep liquidity, and maybe you come down to one of these support targets we have. 155, 125. I mean, that'd be awesome to see $1 again. We'll see. If Bitcoin dumps, breaks its low in August, I have very little hope that we'll see alts rip to new all-time highs. At least in the short term. I'm not saying ever. This is like in the near future. How about Doge? I forgot to look at Doge on Monday as well, so I'll pull it up quick. Overall analysis on total market cap, KJ. Total market cap looks healthier than Bitcoin at the moment. That could actually be a suggestion that Bitcoin dominance may be looking to slow down its momentum, maybe looking to reverse. We'll see. It found support at 2 trillion. That's a great spot to find support. I think this is going to look to retest this yearly high. Maybe not this month. Maybe this month. I think total looks good. Looks healthy. All right, let's look at Doge quick. Long on Doge. Rejected the 200 weekly moving average. Not really what you want to see. I'd say if Doge trades below 8.8 cents, I'd probably look to wrap up my longs. On a more macro, and God forbid ignoring the 200 week here on Doge, you look good. Like, this looks good. You have higher highs, higher lows, higher high. You still technically held that low from the yearly open. Gotta see Doge make one of those big boner candles. Break past the 20 cents it hit earlier this year, and look to really deal with this big boss resistance above. All of Doge's resistance, in my opinion, sits right here between 20 and 25, 26 cents. Right here. If it can retake this level, I don't think a new all-time high will be an issue for it. But, one step at a time, boys. That was a 200 week, right? Yeah, this is a 200 week. Spooky. Spooky, spooky. You can do it, Doge. Boner candle, that's right. That is right. Guys, if you haven't yet, you should definitely join the Discord. Discord.gg/TomCrown. In the video description, there are links. They are affiliate links. If you sign up with any of them, you will get into our private, exclusive trade group in Discord. It costs you nothing. It's the only way in. Make sure you like and subscribe. You know the deal. You know the deal. Keep it going. What about the other dog? What about Whiff? We did look at Whiff on Monday. Maybe these shorter kind of analyses are better, I think. At least for me right now. On Monday, rejected from resistance. Man, let's go. We were spot on with this one. Rejected from resistance, potentially looking for support down at $2. It would be ideal for Whiff to hit a higher low. If it fills our long, probably just looking back to 273, something like that. Yeah. What's up, Travis? Aaron, Dahan Shri, Noob444, MPQ, MPR printers, CMCZ, ZZ. A name in another language I can't pronounce. What's up, my guy? Welcome. Joey Trump, TL. Then we got a lot of good names here. I don't know how many subscribers we got today. A few hundred. We're live here Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 1 p.m. East, covering all the charts in crypto. Usually we do more charting, more trading, but today was our FOMC minutes, and we love covering that. We're gonna be live again on Friday for more spice. We'll probably do a little degenerate trading on Friday. You should tune in. And let's see, it's 2:44. We've been live an hour and a half ish. I gotta do some voiceovers, or I'll never get them done. If I keep going, I'm never gonna get them done. We're never gonna have any more free trading lessons, and that's not a world I can live in. So guys, subscribe, sign up with the links in the video description below, join the Discord, and I'll see you guys Friday. Thanks for tuning in. Keep a lookout for our next streams, our next content. We just published a video on confluence and scalping strategy. Check that out, it's doing well. And I love you, fam. Stay safe. Send your prayers out to those in Florida suffering from hurricanes. I will catch you guys soon. Crown out.